So the Week 7 NFL action is basically in the books, and even though the Vikings were on bye, it's kind of like they lost since the pursuit of a higher draft pick in the 2021 NFL draft. No, the Vikings are not tanking. They're not going to try and lose games on purpose, but also if circumstance happened and other teams near the top of the draft order started winning a couple of games, helping the Vikings out, it would be great. It would be ideal. But of course, no, that did not happen. So the Vikings basically got bad beat all up and down on Sunday. So let's go over the games. So number one, the Jets. I mean, the Jets did have a lead against the Bills, and then they just gave it away now. Blowing that lead, it does suck. Sam Darnold didn't look great. That interception basically swung the momentum. It's, whatever. So the Jets probably going to go 0-16. I still don't know why they haven't fired Adam Gase, but I don't know. Maybe he's part of the tank. Maybe he was hired to specifically lose games because he is so terrible as a head coach. He is the worst. Right. All right. So the Jets, Giants. So go back to Thursday Night Football. Them just giving away that game against the Eagles. I mean, Daniel Jones just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling on that 80-yard run that should have been a touchdown. That was basically a Giants, right? So they had beaten Washington previously. They could have easily gotten their second win of the season, but the Giants just proved that why they're the Giants. The Jaguars gave away a pretty. Oh, they weren't really in the Chargers game, but I mean, Justin Herbert is a dude, by the way. I mean, because if the Vikings pick 6, and I mean, it doesn't make any sense, the correlation, but Justin Herbert went 6 out of the Chargers last year. Justin Herbert is a dude, man. I had some reservations, but I mean, dude is an assassin. So the Jaguars gave that game away. Falcons, my God, Falcons. So 2 weeks in a row, the Falcons have just completely fisted the Vikings. So on the field last Sunday, and then this Sunday against the Lions. How do you score a game-losing touchdown? It's just so amazing. It is so absolutely funny that the Falcons find every single way to lose, and they'll do that all this season. They've done it for 3 years since they gave away the Super Bowl 28-3. But then, of course, they just woodshed the Vikings because why the hell not? Why the hell not? And then Houston did hang with Green Bay. It's whatever. The Bengals. So the Bengals are currently slotted at 7, one behind the Vikings at 6. They did give away a game against the Browns. I mean, Baker Mayfield threw 17,000 touchdowns. So, but Cincinnati, I think, are a lot more interesting, a lot more plucky than people do expect. Would have been nice for them to get a win, give a little bit of cushion there to the Vikings. Washington beat Dallas was actually kind of good, even though it does drop Dallas in the standings. I actually think that on paper, Dallas, well, minus all the injuries, so maybe not, but are slightly better than Washington. So Washington picking up a dub in the club, giving them a little bit of space as well. But overall, I mean, looking at the top of the draft, Jets, Giants, Jaguars, Falcons, Houston's pick goes to Miami, and then Minnesota at 6. So you look at if the season ended today, who would be in the market for a quarterback? I think the Jets would. I think they'd be stupid not to take Trevor Lawrence at 1. Sam Darnold, they can hang on to him. I mean, having 2 quarterbacks on the rookie deals, even high first-round picks, it's whatever in the grand scheme of things. Or they could trade Darnold to somewhere else, potentially to the Vikings. I wouldn't mind Darnold. If the Vikings are stuck here at 6 and say that Lawrence and Fields and Trey Lance all go and Zach Wilson, is it 6 a little bit too rich? It's possible, but if the Vikings have this ability to get Penei Sewell, the left tackle from Oregon, who I think could be a generational prospect, and then despite the lack of a second-round pick, if they're able to recoup some of those draft picks either at the trade deadline or in the offseason, and then I would be perfectly fine taking a day 2 shot at a quarterback, looking at Mac Jones if he doesn't sneak in around 1. Same thing with Kyle Trask, same thing with Derek King. I mean, there's Jamie Newman. There's a lot of options on the table here. So, but if the Vikings are pigeonholed at 6, I think it does set up for potentially the worst case scenario for the Vikings, where Jets go with Lawrence, sure. Giants probably out on quarterback. I think that Gettleman is in love with Daniel Jones, and also like as a GM, sometimes you do get stubborn with the guys that you made a tough choice on. I mean, so when the Giants took Daniel Jones that high a couple years ago, a lot of people were like, "Huh." But Gettleman is stubborn. He's a man of his convictions, so maybe he'll do that. 3, Jaguars need to clean house, draft a quarterback. I think Justin Fields would make a lot of sense there. 4, Falcons. they can't really get out from underneath the Matt Ryan contract, and the new GM will probably look to draft his quarterback of the future. So maybe they'll be in at quarterback, but maybe not, since they are stuck with Matt Ryan. Maybe they'll go quarterback a little bit later. I mean, Micah Parsons on that defense would be pretty damn sick. Dolphins obviously aren't going quarterback because they got Tua. So that would be, the Giants and the Dolphins would be prime trade up candidates for some potential teams. But also, I don't think Gettleman's ever traded in the first round. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Gettleman is one of the few NFL GMs who just sticks and picks wherever he is. So TBD. I mean, well, because there was a lot of talk that the Giants had fielded a lot of offers for number 4 overall pick last year when they took Andrew Thomas, the left tackle, out of Georgia. But TBD. But I think as of right now, you could easily see a spot, whether it's the teams in the top 5 selecting or potential trade-ups, that the Vikings could miss out on the top 3 quarterbacks. I think Lawrence could go, Trey Lance could go, Justin Fields could go, and of course Penny Sewell, I believe, could be in that mix as well. So the Vikings may be stuck where it's like, all right, so do you take Zach Wilson at 6 if you're not able to trade up into the top 5 yourself, which minus the second-round pick, you're sort of hobbled in terms of draft capital, even though you have plenty of third and fourth rounders, so cool. But also, I mean, Micah Parsons, Jamar Chase, the wide receiver from LSU. Are you in that derby? Is 6 a little bit too high for Wyatt Davis, the guard from Ohio State, even though I think he's a crusher of worlds? Will the fan base riot if they take a cornerback at 6? I mean, it's certainly possible, but I don't know. I think as of right now, the Vikings certainly got bad beated in a number of ways, the way that a couple of those games shook out. The Giants should have beat the Eagles. The Jets should have upset the Bills and also completely ruined all the survivor pools, by the way. Jacksonville should have hung with Chargers a little bit better. Falcons certainly should not have given that game away to Detroit. So it's unfortunate. It be what it be, but the Vikings, after the trade of Yannick, it's clear that they are going to play. Well, hopefully, it's clear that they're going to play a lot of the young players, and so if they lose games, it's whatever. If there's positive signs, all the young players start to play well and gel, and then you get your future franchise quarterback, and then all of a sudden, instead of a multi-year teardown and rebuild and reboot, it turns into 1 year, flip the script, Kirk Cousins just cut, eat that salary cap, you got your future franchise quarterback up in the first round. Woo! Let's go. Get on. But your thoughts, recap where the Vikings are as of right now. Week 8 Tankathon update. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.